yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
It's not about old or young. It's not about missed chances or regrets or being tired. It's not even about the rain and cold. It's about finding that little spark that's still in each of us and paying attention to it. Believing in that spark more than we believe in anything else. Nurturing that spark. Taking it out into the cold, dark day and telling it, one step in front of the other, we've got this. Telling it, you understand that things can be hard. Reminding that spark that once it wasn't just a spark. Once it was a whole damn fire. And no amount of rain can put that out.
The Christmas Hat by David B. Denham. On Christmas morn, upon my head, I placed a hat of bright red thread, but with a sneeze it flew away and landed on a passing sleigh. The reindeer laughed and jingled bells. The hat spun round and cast its spells. It hopped onto a snowman's nose, then tumbled to a garden hose. The hose awoke and sprayed about. The hat must go, I heard it shout. It soared into the frosty air and settled on a polar bear. The bear looked up, quite in surprise. Who dropped this hat between my eyes? He sent it back with one swift pat. And there it was, my Christmas hat. So, if your hat decides to roam, don't fret or cry, it will come home. For Christmas magic's in the air, bringing joy to those who dare.
Winter by Walter de la Mare. Green mistletoe. Oh, I remember now. A dell of snow, frost on the bough, none there but I. Snow, snow and a wintry sky. none there but I.
And footprints, one by one, zigzaggedly where I had run, where shrill and powdery a robin sat on the tree, and he whistled sweet, and I in the crusted snow, with snow-clubbed feet,
jigged to and fro, till from the day the rose light ebbed away, and the robin flew into the air, the white mist through, and small and rare.
The night frost fell in the calm and misty dell, and the dusk gathered low, and the silver moon and stars on the frozen snow drew taper bars, kindled winking fires.
In the hooded briars, and the sprawling bear growled deep in the sky, and Orion's hair streamed sparkling by. But the north sighed low, snow, snow, more snow.
Space Control calling Quisp.
This is Quisp. Over.
An enormous mad ball of yarn is blocking all traffic in space.
So it is.
Turn back.
Impossible! I must deliver this cargo of Quisp cereal to my pals and whoop!
It's got him.
A naughty problem. Fortunately, there's always time for a bowl of crisp cereal.
Use your scrooch gun.
Nope. I'm using these knitting needles instead. Knit one, purl two, knit one, purl two. Cast off, knit one, purl two, cast off, knit one, purl two.
What blinding speed! He's knitting up that mad ball of yarn faster than it can unravel. There it goes.
And in its place, a hand-knit necktie, 87 miles long.
Yay! A good yarn, but Quake is better.
Oh! Quisp is best. Get the point?
Quisp from Quaker.
I Love Winter by author unknown. I love winter. Winter is cold. It's Christmas with sleds. It's warm, snuggly beds. It's silver snowflakes. It's skating on lakes. It's snowmen that stand in a snowy white land. It's blue jays that feed on sunflower seed. It's angels that pose in wintertime clothes. It's a polka dot sky. It's winter, that's why I love winter.
Always on Christmas night there was music. An uncle played the fiddle. A cousin sang Cherry Ripe, and another uncle sang Drake's Drum. It was very warm in the little house. Auntie Hannah, who had gotten onto the parsnip wine, sang a song about bleeding hearts and death, and then another in which she said her heart was like a bird's nest. And then everybody laughed again. And then I went to bed. Looking through my bedroom window, out into the moonlight and the unending smoke-colored snow, I could see the lights in the windows of all the other houses on our hill and hear the music rising up from them up the long, steadily falling night. I turned the gas down. I got into bed. I said some words to the close and holy darkness, and then I slept.
Signs of Christmas by Edwin Lees. When on the barn's thatched roof is seen the moss in tufts of liveliest green, when Roger to the woodpile goes, and as he turns his fingers blows, when all around is cold and drear, be sure that Christmastide is near. When up the garden walk in vain,
we seek for Flora's lovely train, when the sweet hawthorn bower is bare, and bleak and cheerless is the air, when all seems desolate around, Christmas advances o'er the ground. When Tom at eve comes home from plow, and brings the mistletoe's green bough, with milk-white berries spotted o'er,
and shakes it the sly maids before, then hangs the trophy up on high, be sure that Christmastide is nigh. When Hal, the woodman, in his clogs, bears home the huge, unwieldy logs that, hissing on the smoldering fire, flame out, at last, a quivering spire. When in his hat the holly stands,
Old Christmas musters up his bands. When clustered round the fire at night, old Williams talks of ghost and sprite, and as a distant outhouse gate slams by the wind, they fearful wait, while some each shadowy nook explore. Then Christmas pauses at the door, when Dick comes shivering from the yard.
And says the pond is frozen hard, while from his hat, all white with snow, the moisture trickling drops below. While carols sound the night to cheer, then Christmas and his train are here.
December 26, by Kenn Nesbitt. A BB gun, a model plane, a basketball, electric train, a bicycle, a cowboy hat, a comic book, a baseball bat, a deck of cards, a science kit, a racing car, a catcher's mitt. So that's my list of everything that Santa Claus forgot to bring.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through La Casa, not a creature was stirring, only the masa. Mama making tamales con mucho cuidado, in hopes old Santa would feel obligado to bring all the hijos, both buenos y malos, a nice batch of dulces and other regalos. Mis hermanos and I went to sleep in our camas, some in calzones, some in pijamas. Cuando out in the yard I heard un gran grito, that I jumped to my feet like a frightened cabrito. And who in the world do you think que era? El mero mero with his venados estaban afuera. Santa Claus in a sleigh with a big sombrero came dashing along like a little bombero. I watched as they came. This little fat hombre was shouting and whistling and calling by nombre. Ay Pepe, ay Jesse, ay Chuca, ay Beto, ay Pancho, ay Chato, Chuy y Neto. Then standing straight up with his hands on his pecho, he flew to the top of our very own techo. With his round little belly like a bowl of jalea, he struggled to squeeze down our old chimenea. Then huffing and puffing and a little cansado, he picked up a bag that looked so pesado. He filled all the stockings with lovely regalos, for none of the hijos had been very malos. Then chuckling aloud, seeming very contento, he turned like a flash and was gone like the viento. As I heard him exclaim, and this is verdad, Merry Christmas a todos! Feliz Navidad! 'Twas the night before Christmas, Tex Mex style. Found on mountainhomenews.com.
A Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. In visions of the dark night, I have dreamed of joy departed.
But a waking dream of life and light hath left me broken-hearted. Ah, what is not a dream by day to him whose eyes are cast on things around him with a ray turned back upon the past? That holy dream, that holy dream.
While all the world were chiding, hath cheered me as a lovely beam, a lonely spirit guiding. What though that light through storm and night so trembled from afar? What could there be more purely bright in truth's day star?
Good, huh? Isn't that great? Delicious.
That's a good instant breakfast.
It's a good instant breakfast plus.
Plus what?
Well, are you ready for this, JJ? 100% of the minimum daily adult requirement of vitamins and minerals.
You pay extra for that?
No! And you get the vitamins and minerals in there for the whole day.
Pet Instant Breakfast Plus makes instant breakfast the most important meal of the day.
A Time for Sharing by Brian Bilston. It had been 12 months since the disappearance of husband Vince, clothes found on Beachy Head, now presumed dead.
Her friends wondered how she might cope, but to her credit, Sue did not mope for long. In fact, by Christmas, she no longer seemed listless, but was demonstrating a proclivity for partying and festivity, putting a little of the insurance cash into hosting a big Yuletide bash. Afterwards, the neighbours, thanks to Sue's all-night labours, declared the do to be a coup, the mulled wine divine, and the deep-filled mince pies such a lovely surprise.
From Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
Friends, go in and see DeSoto Plymedale tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
The Star by Sarah Teasdale. A white star, born in the evening glow, looked to the round green world below, and saw a pool in a wooded place that held like a jewel her mirrored face. She said to the pool, "Oh, wondrous deep, I love you, I give you my light to keep. Oh, more profound than the moving sea that never has shown myself to me."
Oh, fathomless as the sky is far, hold forever your tremulous star. But out of the woods as night grew cool, a brown pig came to the little pool. It grunted and splashed and waded in, and the deepest place but reached its chin. The water gurgled with tender glee, and the mud churned up in it turbidly. The star grew pale and hid her face in a bit of floating cloud like lace.
Nothing looks and feels so fine as a hair that's got that halo shine. Halo means a glowing sheen, shining bright and close up clean. My halo, and let yourself glow.
No shampoo says glow like Halo. Halo with the built-in shine.
Try Halo, and let yourself glow.
Christmas Reflection by Judith Goode Kirby. Pictures passing through my mind of Christmases gone by, snapshots of those memories and how the time did fly. In a flash, my mind can see so many things have changed. My mirror image lets me know my appearance is rearranged. Quick looks around remind me our little children are all gone. Our gray-haired generation moved to find a better home. Then I search around me for those who left too fast, too young, too soon. Too much time has indeed passed. Painted in my holiday are happy times and sad. Reflections are so bittersweet, so mournful and yet glad. Then my photographs they turn to the baby in a manger. He came to die so we could live if we don't make him a stranger.
Christmas Eve, Nearing Midnight in New York by Langston Hughes. The Christmas trees are almost all sold, and the ones that are left go cheap. The children almost all over town have almost gone to sleep. The skyscraper lights on Christmas Eve have almost all gone out. There's very little traffic, almost no one about. Our town's almost as quiet as Bethlehem must have been before a sudden angel chorus sang Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Our old Statue of Liberty looks down almost with a smile as the island of Manhattan awaits the morning of the child.
'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement Clarke Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave luster of midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear? But a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled! His dimples, how merry! His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then,